Meeting of Thursday, August 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Next, we're gonna do roll call. Mrs. Connolly, Mr. Gross,
Here.
Mr. Marble,
Here.
Mrs. Atchison,
Here.
Mayor, sorry, and Renee is here. We have Michael Maxon and Alice Rudy. We're gonna need to excuse them, so I need a motion for that.
Madam Mayor, I would like to make a, should I call you Madam Mayor Pro Tem or Madam Chairman?
Pro Tem
Okay.
would be great.
Sounds good. You're running the meeting.
I know, right? It's fine. That's fine.
I make a motion to excuse Michael and Alice. I'm like, what is her first name? So thank you.
All right, public comments. The council welcomes and encourages vote.
Vote?
Yep, that would be great. Yes, let's vote. Second meeting, sorry.
You can.
All right,
You can do it by.
okay. Pam,
Yes.
Connolly, yes. Okay, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
And Lisa?
Yeah.
Yes, and Miss Renee Race is Mayor Pro Tem, and yes, on that one, so. All right. Now we can do public comments. The council welcomes and encourages the public to speak during the public comment and public hearing portions of the agenda. However, council policy is to hear the public comment, not to act on the public comment at this time. Concerns brought before the council during the public comment portion of the agenda will be referred to the city manager for action. If after communicating with the city manager, no resolution is reached, the concern will be elevated to the mayor and then eventually to the council for action. Those citizens wishing to speak on agenda and non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes each to address their concerns. This is the only time during the council meeting that citizens are allowed to address the council. Please state your name and address for the record if you would like.
My name is David Miedema, 4300 Porter Hollow Drive, Northeast Rockford. I've been a resident there for about 12 years. I'm a frequent user of the White Pine Trail, a lifetime bicyclist. This fall, I'm going to cross 100,000 lifetime miles. So I've been pretty committed to it as kind of a lifestyle. Some think I'm obsessed, but anyway, I'm here because I've come through here 4 or 5 days a week. And since I started 12 years ago, I would estimate that the use of the trails probably increased 4-fold. It's the success. And I always have a great experience coming through Cedar Springs. The trails kept clean, where there's dirt roads intersecting. There's good work on it. I've met a number of your staff over the years. Their names escape me, but one, Russ. But they've all, without fault, been really, really good at their work. A few years ago, the reason I'm come here was to talk about a particular safety concern. A few years ago, you began addressing a safety issue at the intersection of White Pine Trail and 17 Mile Road, Muskegon Avenue. And you put in the pylons, and that was a huge improvement because everybody, you're kind of on your own getting across. And that was a really important safety addition, and I applaud what you did. But, you know, over the years, there are more users, there are more young people, and I often see unaccompanied kids. Now, you as parents probably understand that kids can be impulsive, even if they're with an adult on a bike. And I have seen unsafe situations of kids trying to navigate across without any kind of protection. I mean, you have the middle there, but even adults, I'm ashamed at how ignorant adults can be on a bike. But going across, it's not safe. It's better than it was, but there are more users. And there's safety that's come with those pylons that I notice now, maybe quarter, third of the cars will stop even though they don't have to. And they'll let people across. You know, it's a courtesy thing. But they may stop eastbound, but the westbound will keep going or the other way. So you're getting awareness from motorists that they need to pay attention. But it's still kind of it's risky. It's not safe. And I'm here to ask you to consider doing some improvements for safety. You know, even saving a severe injury of one person would be worth it to make an investment in there. I've seen close calls. And the close calls are because of bikers. It's not the motorists, okay? They're impulsive, they don't think, or they're not watching, they misjudge. My point is, you have something, but it could be better. We could improve safety and reduce the risk of crashes and injuries. So that's kind of why I'm here, is to, ask you to try to pay attention to it. I know different towns, in Florida, you go down there, you see solar powered lights everywhere, signs, stop signs. Where motorists just get used to stopping when they see these things. They're activated by a pedestrian or a bike going across, or they can be push button. I don't want to tell you how to do it, but they are very common. And I think it would help Cedar Springs even be a friendlier, more walkable, bikeable community. You've got a gem here. I think the more people feel safe, the more there's a reputation that, bikes aren't going to be like Amsterdam where bikers rule. But we could make the city, I think, a little more friendly, a little more safe, and there's even other things, but I don't want to go into about striping other intersections, but you got a reputation that you can build on. It's a good one. And I think you could improve that image that we are safety conscious. We want bikers to come through, and we don't want to hear people talk about, oh God, it's so hard to get across 17-mile road. But I do hear that, honestly. And so there are people that I think if we can make it a little safer, it'd really be a wonderful investment. So thanks for your time. I know you can't ask questions, but I'd love to ask them. Oh, and final thing I'll say, I have spoken a couple times with Darla, so this is not a shock to her that I'm here. We've had a couple of really good conversations. So I'm happy just to come and for your attention.
You.
Thank you.
May I ask the city manager a question?
Sure.
That is a county road? Is that city road there?
At that intersection at City.
Okay. Cause I'm trying to remember when we put the, pylons up, I felt like we had to do like an MDOT traffic. We did something to get permission to do that. There's stuff.
All right, let's move on. There's no public hearing. Oh, actually, anyone else? Jeez, I'm just ready to go, aren't I? I know. Hurry up, Perry.
It's 90 North Main Street. To touch on safety, it'd be nice if we can do something to slow down traffic on Main Street, because there are some of them that think they're out in the suburbs where they can still go 55. I keep saying there's this invisible sign at Elm Street that says "Gun it." Everybody can see it but me. The mayor can contest that they was quite fast at the meet and greet when the potential candidates were sitting there. There was some of the vehicles was loud as they was traveling at high speed. I'd mentioned to Sergeant Paulson that there's a nice breathtaking sign that the sheriff department had there on 12 Mile. By breathtaking, I mean when you're going 5 miles over the speed limit, it starts flashing lights at you and you're like, oh, cop. No, just a sign. But something just to slow them down. The idea is, whether you have a police cruiser just set on Main Street, whether there's a person in it or not, it'll slow down traffic just because they'll see it coming up. I probably mentioned this to multiple times before that we want to try and do something to slow down traffic before somebody gets hit. At a summit meeting I went to years ago when I was on council, they said studies show that a pedestrian gets hit by a car at 23 miles an hour, they live. At 24 miles an hour, they die. So they said potentially your downtown should never be over 23 miles an hour, but most of them are 25 or 35. Just depends on stats, but. Then on the other note, quarter events coming up for the chamber and for our community. Anybody that wants to volunteer, they can reach out to the chamber, either our Facebook page or through co-presidents at Cedar Springs Chamber of Commerce.com. We have the celebration of lights coming up in November. That'll be our second year of doing that, where we honor one of our lights that are no longer with us that helped get Cedar Springs where they are now. We'd like to have nominations from the public to nominate somebody that has passed within the last 10 years, but also somebody that has passed more than 10 years so that we can kind of have a variety of honoring those that got us where we are.
On the website.
So email us, message us, let us know who you'd like and why.
Oh, does someone do that?
Chamber Facebook page or through co-presidents at Cedar Springs Chamber of Commerce.com.
Just trying to.
The Halloween Spectacular coming up, New Year's ball drop, and I submitted Darla our ideas for another event for boosting festivities for fall just before Halloween. Any questions?
Anyone else? Well, is anyone? Anyone online? Something. No? Okay, we can move on. There's no public hearing at this time. We're moving to the adoption of the agenda. We need to add under actions, 7C. And that off. I think we all have a memo next to us here. And this is the motion to add Pine Street to the 2025 paving projects in an amount not to exceed $33,354.90. So that'll be added to the 7C action plan there. Do we need to make an emotion for that? Okay, a motion to amend the agenda, adding a 7C.
I think we make a motion to adopt the agenda with the,
Right. So we need to make a
I'll
motion.
make that.
Thank you.
I'll support.
Okay, adoption supported.
We need to vote.
Roll call. Sorry, I had a sheet that would have been nice to have. All right, Mrs. Conley. No, it's fine. All right, Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mrs. Atchison,
Yeah.
and Mrs. Ray says yes. All votes pass 5-0. We need to make a motion or open the consent agenda.
Madam Chairman, I will make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Support.
All right, and I'm gonna do a roll call for that. Again, let's see, Mrs. Connolly,
Yeah.
Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Mrs. Atchison
Yeah.
and Mrs. Race votes yes. That's 5-0. And we are moving on to the action items. action items. A, motion to approve Michael Maxon's resignation.
I'll make that motion.
Or- Okay. And the motion carries on that.
We need to vote.
All right, so Mrs. Connolly,
Yeah.
Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mrs. Atchison.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Race votes yes. That's good. I feel like just flipping pages here. All right, action item 7B. Motion to approve construction simplified general construction contract approval and authorization and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement. We make a
Madam
motion.
Mayor, I'd like to make that motion, please, as presented.
Support.
Roll call. Mrs. Connolly,
Yeah.
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mrs. Atchison. And
Discussion on it though.
yeah, we'll have a discussion after, right?
Well, we should have before we voted.
Should be before we vote,
Okay.
because that's how people decide
Decide, okay,
how to vote.
all right,
Um,
But it's just
discussion.
like a person's resignation, like, we can't.
not a big deal. It's
Well,
a
we
big
can't-
deal, but we
we
can't. say
can't
anything.
decide that, like.
There's nothing we can do to change it.
Right, right.
Resignation.
Okay.
You would be here.
Right.
Stop for just a second and Jeff from Construction Simplified is here with us tonight. Couple pictures that we'd like to share, so if we could do that at this time, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, why don't you? That would be great. Here. Yeah, I'll go through, why don't I start a little bit with, I think everybody's aware, but just for the record, I guess, start with how we got here. We submitted, to the RFQ that was out, I guess, in January and interviewed, and you guys are well aware of that because you've made the motion and passed and executed a pre-construction contract with us and Post Associates. Post Associates is the architect of record for the new City Hall project. Where we're at right now is we've obviously fully designed the new City Hall, the full mechanical, electrical, plumbing package. We sent that out to bid about a month or so ago and received resounding participation. We've got, I think in total it was about 85 different subcontractors to present numbers on the project across to just under about 19 work categories. So yeah, it was fantastic. We held a little open house pizza party pre-bid walkthrough and on a Friday, and I think that helped stem some interest.
Well attended.
Out of those, call it 85 subcontractor bids, we had a pretty heavy focus on getting some local participation to at least submit a number. Now, we are going to end up awarding some local contractors. Darla, Rebecca, and I went through the numbers, and some of the gaps are just too large on the others to award local. So we definitely gave everybody a fair shake and an opportunity to get to it. But this is kind of obviously a rendering of the front entrance here. Pretty similar, just cleaning up, putting in some new glass there in the existing openings, and then adding that vestibule that you see kind of half in and half out of the building. So that's obviously the elevation that faces Muskegon there. Go to the next one. This would be as you just walk into that vestibule, slightly turning to your left would be the reception area. The gentleman on the phone there, that would be the council chamber, the new council chamber's entrance. And I don't know if you've all been inside of this building, but the intent is to sandblast one of those wooden bow trusses and leave that open and exposed in the existing barrel ceiling. So it's
It does not look like that.
Like
Bravo tile floor there, so, we were pretty cognizant of the budget the whole way through, obviously. We, presented a very preliminary budget to Darla and Rebecca early on in the process and just kept designing towards that and kind of used it and checked our budget numbers the whole way through and we got right on. It's under it actually at bid time, so. The next one, that'd be great. That's standing at the reception desk there, so again,
Of the one that's in the Red Hawk. The trestle floor with the Red Hawk that they put the frame around. Do you all know what I'm talking about? Nobody? Okay.
no.
Well, no, it's what was it's in the 5, 6 or the 8th grade. I don't even know what building it is anymore, but is that what it is now? Okay. But if they preserve, there's an antique one. I don't know what to say. It's older than I've been teaching and, but it's a similar flavor. So I'm saying that's awesome that you captured that in that capacity without even knowing that that's what you were doing.
We can go to the next one. This would be, as I pointed out on the first interior rendering with the gentleman on the phone, this would be as you enter those council chamber doors. So this is along the west elevation where the parking lot currently is. Those windows would look out towards that existing parking lot. And again, you can see the wood bow trusses in this instance. The budget didn't really support having everything be open and exposed. So we chose to do that in just the reception area, but we raised the ceiling to go in between the bottom cords of those bow trusses, and we'll have those exposed so you get a little bit of that historical to it, knowing that this was an old road commission building for Kent County in the 20s is what it was built for. In the budget, you can see along the exterior wall there, we do have sandblasting of the existing paint to get it off that brick and get that sealed up and just keep that natural and exposed. So
Very nice.
this is looking, essentially walking out of the council chamber doors like you're going to exit the building out to the front. So another one in the reception area. This is a rendering of what a typical office would be like. So the offices generally are going to be down the east wall, so the opposite of the council chambers. And again, utilizing the existing openings, but getting actual, new windows put in there. So be a lot of natural light. That'll be great.
That's been put over the top of the windows. This thing
Yeah.
kind of stayed.
That finally and open them up how it was intended. So I think, is that the last one? Or? Yeah. Okay.
nice.
Very nice.
We're pretty excited. So currently right now, pending your vote and us getting a contract awarded, we're looking to start the day after Labor Day. There's a little bit of hazardous material in the building. So we'll have to get that abatement contractor in there and get rid of that. So we're looking to start on 9/2 and that would get us finishing it up and turning it over end of March of 26.
Great.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I have, unless you guys have any questions. But,
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
So we're good?
I think so, yeah. Are we good on our vote that we already did? Okay.
So we have to still do roll call, right?
No, we did it already.
All right, good.
You did it.
I am so
This is our-
proficient apparently, so. So now we're gonna be on 7C for action items. Motion to add Pine Street to the 2025 paving projects in an amount not to exceed $33,354.90.
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
Okay. Darla, do you have any?
I just wanted to point out that this was an error on our part when we presented the budget to you back in March or April. Pine Street from Main Street to the White Pine Trail is in the budget. It just missed getting on the list for Fishback to engineer it and get it on the paving list. So we've already talked to Michigan Paving, who was awarded the paving contract. They have no problem adding it for the $33,000 amount stated. So
That is way too little amount of money to be
Oh.
its whole own project.
It's gonna be, well, it's well needed, so, yeah,
I was like,
it's great, I know.
the other
Right.
paving piece of the whole project, so, yeah.
What is it, 75,000, 100,000 a block?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now we can make a motion, or we can, do roll call, right? Okay, so, Mrs. Connolly, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Mrs. Atchison,
Yes.
and Renee votes, Mrs. Reyes votes yes, so that's 5-0. We're on to discussion now. All right, so 8A is sidewalks in the highway commercial district. Darla.
Thank you. I have to give all the kudos to Rebecca Johnson on this document that's before you tonight. I started this and oh my God, quickly turned it over to Rebecca because this is a whole lot of information and organized super well. We gave you the history. We gave you a map of where the gaps are. We gave you detail of who owns what section, how many are the cities, how many are in Solon Township. And then toward, second to the last page, next steps to develop the sidewalks in the highway commercial district. Like what you see here, we think these are the steps we need to take really before we even, talk money or who's paying for what. An initial meeting with Solon Township to see, are they in helping us with this? Are they saying, sorry, that's on you? Where are they at? I think that needs to happen first. And then depending on that, we need to go through our sidewalk policy and ordinance, make sure we get that to where it can benefit us for this project. Conducting field assessment, even though there's sidewalk there, is it
Still, yeah.
than whatever that we need? So that needs to happen. Definitely prioritizing safety concerns for the whole area. And then sidewalk implementation plan, deferred installations, funding. So, this is not going to happen overnight, obviously, but if you like the direction of this plan, we can certainly begin to tackle it.
It's an A+ for me. It's very well done.
Yeah.
I do believe it's necessary to see where the township is at. Because there is a possibility that some of those properties could be developed and still not becoming part of the 425. So whatever it is, they've got to become on board with it. So, could be a hurdle.
Mm-hmm.
Just one small step. So, but, it's gotta go there. So, okay.
Depending on their answer, we could come back and adjust if needed, But there,
Then are you looking for just some direction?
just some direction. Is this what you were looking for?
I think it's wonderful.
I believe concept and what it could be, would be very beneficial to the whole area out there. And
Mhm.
more so for the foot traffic. So,
I even thought at one point, do we invite those businesses to a meeting just to educate them? Maybe the current owner wasn't the owner when it was developed and they don't know they have to put in sidewalk if they got a deferral,
I think there's also a piece of, as this gentleman was just talking to us about the trail, as people are coming through here, making it so you can access these businesses. I mean, if I were a business that wanted people to come off the trail and buy my cheeseburger or get my whatever, like I would want there to be sidewalks that were
Safe and,
and accessible.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these places have no sidewalk to them. So
Yep.
it just isn't even an option.
I think this is a really good first step that we can present to them. You know, when we met with Solon, that was my first meeting on the planning commission, so I really had no idea what I was doing, but I feel like this packet can be presented to them. And I really felt like at that meeting too, that a lot of their members are on board with it. You know, I remember one guy commenting like, we need to make sure we get engineers together. Like you have your engineers, we have our engineers, and you know, like I really feel like we have support from them. You know, it's just a matter of making it
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So this is a great first step. So I don't know. Should we send it to them?
I like to meet in person to maybe explain, you know, what we've kind of from meeting. This is kind of where we're at. And then
It's joint meetings not till
March.
March.
Yep.
Six.
It might want to be addressed with the township board.
First.
or-
Okay.
That would be suggestion. Because ultimately, it's going to be that board that's going to approve of what the planning commission is going to do. So, I think it would be worthwhile to present it to their board.
I can see when those meetings are and get it.
The things that goes along with that, and it was one of the things about our sidewalks are supposed to get clean and so forth. I was addressed several times about why don't we clean the drive over the creek near the bridge? County will go through, plow it full, all those sidewalks that are out there get plowed full. And there are people that do walk out there in the winter, and it gets very, very risky trying to get past the bridge. Because the sidewalk is all full of what has been plowed off the road onto it. So, Coleman Park is not all of the sidewalks belong to the city, nor was our responsibility to keep them clean, but, I think that's something that's gonna have to be worked on also, so.
Yep.
That's just a side to having the sidewalks, it's just, they gotta be committed to having them kept clean, so.
Yeah.
Any more discussion? No? Okay. All right, I guess we're on to communications now. We can let's
Did we
read
have
it,
any?
or do we have any, or anything new? Okay. Department reports, city manager.
To follow up a little bit from Mr. Medema's comments at the beginning of the meeting, he did call me a couple months ago. I think it was March actually, because I found an email that I had sent to a couple people. Didn't get response, got busy with other things and kind of forgot about it. He called me again the other day, and this time I called right to Grand Valley Metro Council, the transportation department, and talked to the director there, and then followed up with pictures of our current crossing. And she forwarded my email and information to another gentleman in their office that's working with a couple communities. I think Kentwood was one of them, and I don't remember the other one, maybe Wyoming. They have similar crossings, and he's working on helping them make them more safe. So I said, well, add my name to the list. I want some conversation. You know, is it signage? What is it? So I've already.
Glanville, who was our rep for like before redistricting. Is this ringing a bell for you? when I was the mayor, she invited me to a breakfast and I attended on the something Michigan Trails, Rails to Trails. And there's like a whole organization for making these trails safer. And it was a big deal with the White Pine Trail because it had hit a critical, there's apparently a thing where when you get 100 miles of continuously paved trail, it tips it into some sort of
I remember.
classification. I presented out on it to you all at the time, but I bet they would have some resources. If I could, I'm just reaching because this was a hot minute ago. They would have some stuff because there was some grants and there was like this. It was like a 501c3 organization for trails and hiking that also got some state funding that might be a place for signage or lights or to make recommendations.
Yeah, there's other resources that I haven't contacted yet. Actually, do you remember the grant that I signed a letter of support for signage along the White Pine Trail? I talked with the gentleman just this week. He stopped in, was riding on the White Pine Trail. I asked how that grant was going and he said, well, that's state funded, so we probably won't know until December at the earliest, maybe next year at the earliest. But he said they've already secured a second source of funding if this falls through. So hopefully signage will be funded here shortly. But there's,
because she was like, it was like a personal thing for her that she was involved with this group. I can ask her because I don't think our rep even remotely interested. So.
Yeah. I'll keep on top of it and, bring back resources to you guys. I don't have the answer. That's not in my area of expertise, but I'll definitely keep on top of it and really give him credit for coming here tonight on his bike and speaking. And he said, can I come and speak at the council meeting? I said, absolutely. He's like, even though you're working on a solution, who cares? Yes, please come in if he's able, so, and he was, so that was good. Let's see what else. Met a couple times with Renee and myself, met with Teams of Skinnerfield. One of the organizations that is part of the current agreement withdrew. It was formerly CASA. Now it's West Michigan Football League. But so we met literally just last night with the group again and said, with that organization pulling out, do the rest cheer and youth football? Do you feel you can continue as agreed upon, even with this group pulling out? And they said, absolutely. So at the next meeting, they're looking, they have 1 year left on their contract. They're looking for an extension now. They tell us that when they go to people for donations and stuff, I guess that's one of the questions they ask, like, how long is your lease or whatever? And they're like, well, we only have 1 year left. They're like, what's going to happen in a year? Well, if we extend that now, give them 6 more years on the lease, that gives people comfort, like we're not going to do something else with it in a year when their lease is done. So we'll bring that to you next month for consideration.
And thank you, by the way, for finding a resolution. That would have been a difficult situation for a hot minute.
Agree.
Done a lot of work to really
Yeah.
jazz up the place, and they're continuing to do it. It looks
The
fantastic.
engineers, cool.
Mhm.
Charlotte, you really like stepped in and fixed that.
What else do I got here? Heart of Cedar Springs project. Maybe I'm stealing Tanya's thunder, but project has started. It's going well. They had only been working a couple days and we had our first progress meeting. We'll have them routinely throughout the project, but they are full speed ahead. They've got footings in the ground already for the bathroom. They already have the playground area, all the topsoil all scraped off and working on both pieces at the same time. So that's really exciting to watch that project.
That's gonna be done.
October 24th. If they're not, then we start charging them. Yep. Wanted to share, recently I've been appointed to the North Kent Connect board. I have had my orientation meeting with them. Haven't had my first board meeting yet, but really looking forward to this board. I think North Kent Connect has a lot of services that are offered to our residents just geographically, but I'm a little bit familiar with North Kent Connect through Rotary and the stuff that we do with North Kent Connect, but there are many pieces that I'm not aware of, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about them so I can bring them resources, you know, here, whether it's pamphlets up front or I haven't figured that out yet, but really excited to start that. Yeah, so that's all I have.
Assistant City Manager Rebecca.
Evening. So this last month has been a little bit busy for me, but I did want to give you a little bit of an update on the Downtown Development Authority. The DDA has been working throughout the summer. You guys have seen that work. It's the flowers on Main Street, the concerts in the park. They're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. So I just wanted to remind you guys of the work that they're doing, and just kind of give you an update on the things that will be coming. So we'll be working to secure quotes for flowers for Main Street next year. We're also going to be working on a welcome packet and dog waste containers. So that continues to be a focus as well. Also in the last month, I've also worked to attend the Chamber of Commerce meetings and the CBDT meetings as well. Those have been great informational, great way to kind of keep the city in the loop on the happenings in those groups as well. Looking forward to working with all of those individuals. As you guys probably know, there was an accident over at the cemetery. So I do manage our property and liability for the city. So I am working with an adjuster currently on what that looks like, what coverage we have. So I hope to have an additional update for you guys at a later date, but we were just assigned an adjuster for that. If you're not familiar with that, that was an individual who crashed her car into Elmwood Cemetery. We did have some damages to a water line there and some headstones. So more information to come on that.
To be one of the strangest, insurance adjuster, could you please tell us the cost of these headstones? I hear all
Sorts of wild and crazy things, but it was certainly a surprise to us. So beyond that, FOIA this month has been busy. We've had 5 FOIA requests, so we've got those handled and taken care of. Another one hit my desk today, so FOIA doesn't seem to be slowing down, but slowly working on some website updates. And then, so if you see anything on the website that needs some updating, just feel free to let me know. So that's all I have.
Let's see. We are on the DPW. Tanya.
Good evening. So we have been cleaning the restrooms daily. We removed the AC unit in front of the new city hall, relocated the fence there. Water the trees in the parks and the flowers on Main Street 3 times a week. Replace the bricks in front of City Hall where DTE had done some work, and their company they hired was supposed to put them back and never did, so we went ahead and did that. Started painting lines in the parking lots. Hot patching, cleared the fence over at City Hall. Removed the posts, the benches, and marked sprinkler heads over at the Heart of Cedar for the project that's going on down there now. And we also watered the lawn at City Hall and got that grass established. So I think that's coming in pretty nice over there. And that's about it.
I don't know how often this happens, or because Main Street was just redone, but the sides along the sidewalks. They're like painted yellow or blue or anything like that. And that seems to be really kind of rubbing off. So I didn't know if there's like a time as to when that gets refreshed again. I just happened to notice that. Yeah. Yeah.
Parking lot lines,
Huh?
lot lines come out, like if it's not parking, then the sidewalk's painted or the.
Right. Just
Okay.
the sidewalks where they're painted. I don't know if they're supposed to be repainted after a while. I'm not sure, but we have I don't know, last, but I just happened to notice when there's not a lot of cars on the road at night or whatever, you just notice that it kind of gets rubbed off after a while from the cars and stuff like that. So just something I noticed.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Great, thank you. Law enforcement?
Today was the North Kent Festival at the North Substation. It was from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and it was a great turnout. People started showing up at about 2:30.
They are gonna get one of those backpacks.
Yeah.
We used that whole front field in front of the substation for parking, and we just set cones and then those long string flag lines out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a lot of rows of parking. We estimated we had room for about 100 cars in that front lot. At 3:05, 5 minutes after the beginning of the festival, that lot was full.
Oh my
So we had
gosh.
no parking left 5 minutes into it. We had 3 cadets out there and they did a great job. They were just kind of rerouting them to Family Fair, or Family Farm and Home. And they had given us permission to use their parking lot up front, so that was very helpful. Chief and I were out there. We stopped home to take a shower at about 6 o'clock and we made it here, but it went very well. Very well attended.
Yay. Very good. It's exciting.
Were more people than you expected? About what you expected? Less than what?
It's the first year that we did it, right? But it was more than we expected.
Okay, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had figured 100 people at any given time throughout the day would be enough. But like I said, 5 minutes into it, and we were already at capacity out there.
Wow.
It still went very well.
100 cars is more than 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that something you guys are looking at
So I
doing?
know they want to do it, but I think they want to spread it throughout the county. So they might do it at the South Substation next year. I'm not sure. But, yeah, for sure.
All the things you learn as you go along, right?
One of the news outlets was up there. I'm not sure which one it was. News 8. News 8 was there. Yeah.
Question. Is there any indication as to the range of area that was affected by this? Because it was the north. I was just wondering if it was the north end or if it drew people in from even out of Montcalm down.
That's a good question. Sure, honestly. I know a lot of the different channels that we use to advertise, we advertise it as like, this is a North Kent County event. But I'm not sure how far out people were on it. I mean, certainly, like I said, a lot of people showed up, a lot of ages. It was a lot of kids, a lot of parents, and a lot of older folks. So it was.
It's awesome. I was gonna see. All right, we have fire department now.
Got my report for the month. Thankfully, it's just our normal routines for the summer, spraying down the football fields and everything for the kids, and blitz bike race, which went well. Parades, things like that. But thankfully, it's been a pretty safe month. No fires, no car fires, and brush fire, I think so.
I know. We were, I know the kids were grateful last week. Marching band camp was last week and it was very hot. So, one of them were out there just blasting those kids. They loved it. They loved it. So that was great. I think it might be the firefighter. I know it was good. Okay. City clerk, April.
We are retention project, hoping that they will be
we'll be ready for them to pick the stuff up by the end of the month. So Buck and I are gonna spend another day up there next week for a couple hours to finalize a few things, and I'll let them know we're ready. I'm sorry. It's hot up there. Tried to pick the coldest day next week to do it, but. I do want to thank DPW and Carrie Duffy. We have successfully audited 2 sections of one cemetery. I think I mentioned to you guys last time that we're working on a project. So we're just gonna keep plugging away at that for the next 2 years, but they were helping getting that done. We had election last Tuesday. You guys didn't know that, so we have some election results we want to share with you guys. We had 209 people cast their votes last week. 105 of those were AD ballots. Yep, and 44 were in person. That was a 7.83. Ooh. We did get official notice that the canvas has been completed, so we can officially say that Jacob Puckett, Rose Powell, Lisa Atchison, and Jill Owen.
Right.
And then we did for an election audit because we were selected to be audited. So, yay, I get to do that. I have a couple of training.
There you
Full confidence in you.
go. We, finance director,
I gave Emily the week off, so she had your report in your packet and
Good for her. Some fun.
is she north? Code enforcement, anything, building inspections. Board information.
not a category we look at a lot or talk about a lot, but PCI has been busy. That's kind of why we put that report in your packet. They are issuing a lot of permits and doing a lot of inspections, so. Yeah, yeah.
I would be interested in knowing what types of permits there are being, additions, new homes, whatever. It would be something I would be interested in. I don't know if the rest of the board would be. It was just an occasional report once in a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Through the PCI, I think it's. Yeah.
It's in there.
Okay, we are on to, we have the Cedar Springs Public Library. What's up?
Minutes.
And we're on to council comments. Let's go with, Mrs. Connolly.
Thank you to everybody that made that election happen. My newly minted adult got to vote for the first time, and that was a big deal. And all of you who were in here who made sure that that worked okay for him, I really thank you for that. So that was a big deal. And he got a sticker, and so thank you for that. That's a huge thing. And anyway, I wish more people would have come and voted.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that of those 200 people that were in person, 3 of them came from my house. So, and one of them is the first time he got to vote, and he has a disability, and it was all accessible, and
Perfect time for him to go, so.
yeah, we told him, this is a really good time to be able to do a training vote.
Yeah.
There's one thing, you have to remember to flip the ballot over.
Right.
So that was, and we went through and talked about all the candidates, and it was good. So thank you to the people and got him the form so he can do absentee in the future. And he was like, I know I can ask for help if I need it, because he has a motor skill deficit and he didn't need it. But anyway, it was just, I really appreciate all of that happened, because that is one of our absolute primary responsibilities as a municipality is to make sure that everybody gets to vote. And you do that. And you do that. And thank you.
Very good. All right, with Mrs. Satchison, Miss Satchison. Mhm.
Yes, I thank the people that did turn out to vote. It's very important, and I know it's hard to get people out to vote, especially when there's only one thing on the ballot. And we don't often have a primary. So once again, it was really good that there were a lot of people that showed up and wanted to run. So that's a good thing. Just eventually, I hope that we get more involved and vote, as a community. Thank Renee for running the meeting tonight. I have a little problem, some vertigo going on, so it was, very helpful. Thank you. And it was last minute, so she, didn't get all the preparations that she could have if I knew sooner. Yeah. But I appreciate it. And then once again, thanks to the staff, still shining stars. So I'm grateful for all of you. And I think that's all.
Okay, Mr. Marble.
That was a good meeting, and I think Rebecca did a really good job with the sidewalk thing. That was a lot of work. And I would say too, I think we're really lucky to have Jeff as a project manager for this. He really is good at his job. So yeah. So other than that, great meeting, and thank you guys for everything.
I agree with everything that's been said, and I will tell you, and if you haven't heard, there was a rescue situation called for me because I made a mistake of telling my children that I had a pain in my chest, not in the chest, but basically upper right hand side, and it was migrating to the neck. Without even thinking about the fact they've had a certain amount of medical training, and that's an indicator of a heart attack. As much as I tried to get them to just allow me to drive to the doctor's office and get checked, all of a sudden, I had rescue coming and an ambulance. And I spent about 3.5 hours of my time just laying in a bed in emergency. So I appreciate them doing it. If you hadn't heard, or if you had heard, they couldn't find anything that was wrong with me. I was glad they didn't strain, or the only thing they didn't scan was my head, because they might find that the only thing was missing was up there. But anyway, so if you had heard, that's fine. If not, it may trickle down somewhere. It was kind of neat to know that the guys that were working on me primarily were the same guys that I worked with. Did very well. And I appreciate that. As much as the kids had a fear, they're not going to get rid of me that easy. So, okay. So, but I appreciate being on the board here and so forth. And I love the comments. I love it when it starts other than me, but it's the meetings are going well, it's being run well, and we're discussing what we need to discuss and moving on. And I appreciate that greatly. As long as we stay away from all the extras, and I've gone longer than I should have. So, but thank you, everything for just going on at the state level.
Very good. I'm very glad that you're okay.
I kept telling them I was that day.
Doesn't matter. The good thing. The good thing. We have a great team to take care of you anyway, so thank you for your patience on this. It's still new to me and just takes time, so but just appreciate everything that you guys all do. Exciting to hear about the event tonight. That's a big deal. it's good to see everyone in their positions now and what they're taking over and what they're doing. I know that there's just so much work out there, so. But, I think that's about it. I hope for some, maybe a little cooler weather. Today was really nice, so it was really nice, but it's been that.
May I make one more comment? And it builds upon what you have said. What we are seeing here right now is local. It was built upon what we had that was not being utilized before.
Right.
And this is what I appreciate now. We had the help. They were here to help and they were capable of helping and were not being utilized. So, and I appreciate this, every one of you.
All right, I think that's it. We end, or do we go into?
Recess or?
I don't,
Did you have any comment?
I already did.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm good. So then we go into closed session or, okay, make a motion to go into closed session. Okay,
Support.
and we're gonna do a roll call on that. Mrs. Connolly,
yeah.
Mr. Gross.
Yeah.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Miss Atchison.
Yes.
And Mrs. Race says yes. 5-0, and we are going into closed session. So-
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to go back into open session.
Okay,
Support.
questions on, we do that and then we're, any discussion?
On.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Not gonna say it again. All right, I guess we are adjourned.
Yeah.
Oh,
To open session.
oh, so we gotta,
And no. Same, say all opposed, say same.
okay, yeah, I'll post same. Now we're going into motion.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yay. Okay, so now we can adjourn.
There we go. Yes, ma'am.